So today I'm going to be doing a slightly different video, or a video that I've wanted to do for quite a while, and that is a hack video. I love watching hacks, but I've never done a hack video. Today I would do a breastfeeding hacks for you. Breastfeeding is really difficult, especially in those early days. It can be really tough. It isn't always, but sometimes it really can be, and there's loads of little tips and tricks that I've learned kind of particularly in this time round, second time round, that have massively helped me, that had I known first time round it probably would have been a bit more of a successful journey. With Sebastian I had a really tough time at the beginning, and although it did get better, I only fed him for 4 months, which isn't what I wanted to do. I wanted to feed him until natural term, which I'm managing to do at the moment with Albert. He's 11 months, so he's going to be 1 next week. I can't believe it, and I'm still feeding, and feeding is still going strong. So hopefully this video will help you, just kind of give you a few little tips of what can make your life easier. Like I said, this is particularly relevant in those very kind of early days. It does continue, but mostly at the beginning. So the first hack is a really simple hack, and that is basically the bracelet hack. I guess all this is, I can use a bracelet, a hairband, and this is what I just used to use, a hairband, is depending on whatever size you fed off last, you can put a bracelet on your wrist to kind of say, to change it over so that when you look down at your wrist, you know which boob you need to feed off next. So say you fed off the right hand side, you just take off the bracelet to put it on the left, so that next time you need to feed, you know to feed on the left. Usually you kind of know this, but at the beginning you can get really engorged and kind of forget. There are apps and things, but personally I just think when it comes to something as natural as breastfeeding, apps that tell you how long you fed for and what side and stuff, whilst they're really great, I think it can be, I personally think that breastfeeding should be left kind of as natural as possible, and that people can follow apps so much so, and it can actually really affect and hinder things. So a little tip to stop you kind of getting engorged or lopsided. The next tip is this, and this is a Modesty clasp. This is from, I think, the Suckle store. I've done a video with them before, and I'll leave that link down below because that's going to be my next tip. But they're just really good for kind of clipping your top up, or like if you're doing one up, one down, or using a muslin and clipping it around your neck as well. It's just really handy little clip as well. I've never really used a cover. I've done one up, one down, but I definitely found it really handy with the muslin if I was wearing, say, a dress or something that was more open at the front. I did kind of want a bit of covering then. The next hack is one that I've shown you guys before and I've done a video for, and that is converting a maternity bra or any bra into a feeding nursing bra. And basically I did this with some of my maternity bras that were really comfortable, and I wanted to keep using them, but I also wanted to use them as nursing bras. So I will leave that link down below to that video, but this is basically what I did with probably about 4 or 5 of my bras, and it was awesome. It is worth bearing in mind that you shouldn't really wear underwired bras when you're breastfeeding. It can really cause problems with blocked ducts and things like that, plus it can be really uncomfortable. But maternity bras don't tend to be underwired, so that's kind of what I went for when I was pregnant, and then I just converted them over into nursing bras. And also maternity bras can give you quite a bit of nice shape as well if you're wanting something that's a bit more structured and not so kind of flimsy fabric like typical nursing bras are. The next thing is a water bottle. Get yourself a water bottle. I never had that kind of, you will get really thirsty every time you feed. I never had that. I never had it with both pregnancies, and that's really rare not to have that. I just drank the same as I did before. It's really strange. I don't know why, but people report, and most people, so probably you, will get this kind of thirst that you can't even quench, apparently. Never had it. Very strange. But yeah, a water bottle is, I'm so sorry about my blue fingers, guys. I've dyed my hair. But anyway, a water bottle is essential, definitely. This is something that's going to really help you. Just carry it around with you in your bag, carry it around with you around the house, and you'll know then that you've always got water to hand. And sometimes what's a good idea, if you are nursing in multiple places in the house, leave water bottles around the house so that at least then you know that you've got one near at hand, one upstairs, one downstairs, for example. I did mention these in my breastfeeding essentials video, but this I'm going to include in this hack. These are Medela shells, and when you feed in the beginning, you often do let down off another side as well, and it can just be, I mean, breast pads are great, and I do recommend the Lansino breast pads. I'll leave my link to my breastfeeding essential video down below, but these are really, really great for collecting milk and for not wasting them. You can't actually feed a baby this milk on its own. You need to mix it with milk you've expressed, because this will likely be fore milk. If you give the baby this milk on its own, you'll give them a tummy ache. So make sure you kind of mix it in with other milk, but it just stops you wasting any of it. And also, believe it or not, I mean, there's a little entrance at the top there, so make sure you put that bit up, but this will also add shape to your boobs. If you are going out, you can wear these out and about, believe it or not, but these are awesome. My next tip is this tip. This is by far the best tip, and that is the vest clip tip, I guess you want to call it. I don't know what you call it. Basically, go to Primark, buy yourself some cheap vest top, snip the top and then loop it over, and you can loop it over your nursing bras. This basically then creates a nursing vest. Not only is it free, but it doesn't mean you have to clasp a nursing vest and then a bra, because sometimes people do that, end up unclipping 2 clips, and you just have 1 clip and that's it. I absolutely love this hack. It helped me so much. It's helped everyone so much. I think it just means the difference in your outfit. It's the difference in what you wear each day, which is really important. You want to look good, so definitely do that. Go to Primark or wherever and get some cheap vest tops, and you can loop them over really easily. You can also do this with one of those teeny tiny little hairbands that you can get, you know, the little black ones or clear ones, and you just snip it and loop it over if you're not dab hand up the sewing machine, or I hand sewn mine, so that's all I did. It's really straightforward and easy to do. One up, one down. So a lot of people wonder how you're going to breastfeed discreetly, and I have done a breastfeeding discreetly video, but this is a really good hack, and all it is feeding one up with a top down. So basically, before you're gonna have your baby, definitely go out and buy some clothes depending on the season that you're comfortable or that you like. If you do plan to breastfeed, definitely don't feel that you have to go out and buy nursing clothes. They are really expensive, and actually personally I find them really awkward. I don't own, other than a couple of nursing vests, I don't own any nursing clothes because I find them really a hindrance. I actually don't think that they're that discreet personally. What I find more discreet is lifting one top up and then unclipping your clip and lifting that down, and then you've got like a whole complete cover on top of your baby's head. So go out and buy maybe some really nice t-shirts, some nice kind of floaty tops, and then a load of vests and some sweatshirts, and this really got me through kind of those beginning days, and also meant that I looked nice, and also meant that I felt confident in my body, and it really massively helped. Now, this can probably be a bit of a controversial one to some, and I will leave an evidence-based study down below as to why this isn't controversial and why this is actually a very natural process, but that is co-sleeping. And I'm not saying necessarily in this video I'm not going to talk about co-sleeping in that, but what I will say is if you are getting that tired and you're really struggling with sleep, then have a look at lying down breastfeeding. Lying down breastfeeding can massively help you doze. You're not going to roll over on your baby, especially when breastfeeding. You're very intuitive. Breastfeeding and co-sleeping go hand in hand. If you were formula feeding, it'd be very different, but if you're breastfeeding, then you don't have to worry so much. You will honestly be more in tune with your baby, or maybe set an alarm or something if you're worried, but basically just lie down and try and practice latching your baby on when you're lying down. This means that they can feed and that you can get your head down and just doze. This helps so many mums, and again, I will leave links down below to evidence-based studies around co-sleeping, but also safe co-sleeping tips. It is really important if you do this, that you do this safely. My next hack is the basket hack, and that is basically getting yourself your kind of breastfeeding basket, and this could also couple up as a changing basket as well, so it's kind of a general sort of mum hack anyway. But one thing that I did have is a breastfeeding basket, and in this basket contained my breast pump, any milk bags, also some snacks, a water bottle, and also nappies and wipes. So I had everything there on hand by the side every evening when I'd sit down and watch telly. I could just reach for my breast pump, I could just reach for any snacks, reach for water, reach for wipes, for anything that I needed. It was all there. And this is a really good idea for you to carry around the house, and it's just dead handy. It just saves you having to go up and down the stairs to change the baby, or going into different rooms to get whatever it is you need. Next hack, it's not really a hack but tip I guess you could say, is Netflix. Get yourself subscribed to Netflix. If you're not subscribed on Netflix or some kind of Now TV or whatever where you can watch loads of films, then do so. You're going to be spending probably a lot of time feeding, and that's completely normal, and I loved it. I love that that stage, the kids would, Sebastian would be in bed, and I would just spend the whole evening watching films and with a baby latched on. And some people could find that a bit of a pain, but like I said, if you've got your snacks and things to hand, and especially better if you've got a partner with you who can just kind of wait on your hand and foot, just sit, feed and watch TV and really enjoy those early days. They go so quickly. What I would give now to sit there and just feed Albert and snuggle up on the sofa with him being all dozy and milk drunk, I would love that. But now he doesn't do any of that. He hardly feeds much in the day at all. And again, this is another thing. They don't feed, it doesn't last forever. It's really, 12 weeks it'll last, if that, 6 weeks sometimes for some babies. So I promise you it's not gonna last for very long. Another hack as well that I thought I might add is the Hacker pump, and this is basically a pump that just works purely off your letdown. Now I did have one, but I left it at a hotel. It is in my breastfeeding essentials video, and I never kind of got it back. I don't know what they thought it was when they saw it sitting in the bathroom cabinet, but in the bathroom shelf, but yeah, I left it at a hotel. But basically this is really good way of kind of pumping, I guess, in those early days when you don't want to pump just yet, because you want your milk to supply to establish itself, but you want to let off a lot of the engorgement, particularly in the morning, and particularly if your baby is struggling to latch on because you're so engorged. You basically just pop this on, it forms a suction, and it just kind of draws out any kind of excess milk. It won't pump your milk out like a breast pump would, but it would just let off any of that kind of excess, the same as hand expressing. But personally I think it's much better than a hand expressing machine. So definitely get a Hacker pump if that's something that you're struggling with, or be a bit fiddly to work out at the beginning, but once you've sussed it, there's loads of videos on YouTube, then it's definitely one of the best pumps out there, I'd say. Best hand pumps, manual pumps, I'm not going to say hand pump, manual pumps out there. Okay, that's it for this video. I really hope that these tips help. If there's any more that you can think of, please leave them down below, and if any of them helped you, I'd love to know, please say. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. I upload 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesdays and Fridays, sometimes bonus videos on the weekend at 7 o'clock UK time, and make sure you click on the alarm bell in the corner so that you get notified every time I upload. Take care guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye.